Всем привет! Сегодня выходит наше второе видео. В гостях у меня сегодня подруга Кристиана. Она из Болгарии, не говорит по-русски, поэтому наше интервью сегодня будет проходить на английском языке. Hi Chrissy, how are you today?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good, good, thank you. So tell me please, why did you decide to move to London?
Well, actually, my best friend from Bulgaria relocated to live in London with her family, and she was just telling me all the time how amazing it was and like how exciting like life in London was. And I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do after high school in Bulgaria. I was thinking about going to university, but I didn't really know what I want to do, so I thought I'll give it a go. So yeah, I decided to move.
That's great. So how did you find it? Was it difficult to settle here, or was it easy for you?
Well, I moved in, when I came to London, I was an au pair, so I was living in an English family and I was helping with the taking care of their children as an easier way to settle down, you know, be able to obtain the documents that I needed to work here and get used to the language as well and just generally to the lifestyle. And it was an interesting experience. I mean, it obviously wasn't the easiest. I mean, I moved to here when I was 19, so in a way I was a child myself, and you know, was kind of like put in this. It was an interesting experience, but I liked it, and I think it's probably an easier way to settle into a new country.
That's really great. I think it's easier, and plus you have a great experience straight after school. That's really great.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
So tell me please, was it difficult for you to learn English? You have absolutely amazing English skills.
Well, I think actually living in the families helped a lot. I was studying quite heavily in Bulgaria, but when I moved in here I realised that I don't know anything, to be honest. Like it was completely different, and we studied more American English, and obviously British English is slightly different, pronunciation as well. Honestly, in the beginning I was like, I could not understand anything, especially with the kids. It was even more difficult. But I lived in two different families, and both were, you know, had quite a proper English pronunciation, or British English pronunciation. So I think that really helped me, because that was like the first sort of start of me properly learning the language, and I learned it from like a really good from people that speak it very well. So I think that definitely helped a lot.
So tell me more about your current position. Was it difficult to find a job here for you? How it was?
Well, I think everything was a bit by luck, to be honest. I mean, after I decided to move away from the families, I was working as a part-time nanny, and I was looking for receptionist jobs, and I found a job in a hotel. So I was doing like part-time nanny, part-time receptionist in a hotel, because the pay in hotels wasn't really great, and nanny actually pays quite well. So I was kind of using the reception job as an experience, and the nanny one mainly for like making money. And then I just wanted to find a full-time job. Mainly I preferred to be in an office setting, and I started to look around, and again I think really by luck, like I landed in the industry that I'm in at the moment, service offices, and yeah, I've been in my company, in the current company that I'm in, for over 5 years.
Oh, that's great.
Which was a very, very long time. I started as a receptionist, and then pretty much just kind of moved my way up, and yeah, it's been great experience. It's been really good learning curve.
Is it difficult to be big boss?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm that a big boss, but definitely.
By the way, she was my ex-manager.
Yes. I think what I've really find it, and still kind of like find the most difficult one is the working with people. You know, that's always, you know, being someone's manager, and, you know, working with different type of people, and, you know, amending your way of speaking to them and training them. I mean, every person is different, and you kind of always like have to adjust yourself to them in a way. Yeah, no, it's been great experience. I love it. Like, I like my job. I like that, you know, I get to communicate with clients, you know, dealing with contractors, but as well, you know, the team element of it. yeah, it's quite interesting. Every day is different, so I think I really like it.
Okay, that's great. Tell me, please, the most ridiculous or hilarious things that happened to you in London, or maybe something amazed you and you were like, wow.
Well, I think, I mean, in terms of like strange experiences, I think the biggest one, unfortunately, is not a very positive one. Our flat was broken into, so we had a burglary into the flat. So one day we were out for the day and we came back home, and it wasn't like in the middle of the night or anything like that, like during the day in the afternoon. And yeah, we noticed that we saw that the door was broken and all our stuff were everywhere. I mean, it was a big shock. You know, everyone tells you living in London, these things happen. But I think until it actually happened to you, like, you don't really realize it as much. But yeah, I think definitely something that everyone needs to be aware of, and making sure you lock all of your locks on your doors, because it's not as safe as you might think it is.
Okay, this is one.
I think in terms of like a good experience, in 2018 I joined the March for Women event as such, that was happening in London, and it was to kind of promote women's rights in England, but in general. And it was like it was the first sort of march as such that I've ever been a part of in my life, and it was very exciting. There were so many people.
I never heard about it.
And
you told me.
Yeah, no, it was a really good experience. It started from kind of like Westminster, and like all the roads were closed, and we kind of like, it was like so many like people gathered together, and we walked down towards Trafalgar Square, and there was there were speakers, and there were dancers, and it was like a whole event. It was really exciting. Like, this is one of the things I really like about London, is that they promote equality so much, and I think that's very important for everyone really. And another thing that I really like in London as well is you see so many like different people from different countries and backgrounds, and everyone is equal, and that's how it should be everywhere, I think.
Like, people fight for their rights.
Yes, yeah, people fight for their rights, and I think generally, I think London is quite good in terms of that. And I mean, as an Eastern European, like, I never really felt like people discriminate towards me. Like, I've never really felt anything like that, and I think that's really important for all big cities. Well, for all countries, all countries and all cities, really. Yeah.
Okay, this is two, and the third one.
Well, I mean, I guess in terms of something like strange that I found as well is. Normally in Bulgaria, people say that English people are really quite stiff and not very emotional and a bit rude maybe. And yeah, it was interesting to kind of like see, like, when you live in a different country, like, people tell you all these things that you hear about another country, another like
it's like a stereotypes about another country, and when you hear, you completely see a different picture.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I think this is what like is always good about traveling and exploring different countries and different places, because there are so many like negative things like talked about every country really, and it's always better to kind of see it for yourself and judge it for yourself.
Okay, so and the last question for today. Tell me what you miss the most from Bulgaria. Maybe it's food or culture, or maybe your friends and family.
Yeah, well, all my family is still back home, so definitely the thing that I miss the most is my family. I have a lot of friends back home still as well, so the people is probably what I miss the most. The food, of course, like I love Bulgarian food. It is the ripe tomatoes in the summer, and it's amazing.
We're going to Bulgaria very soon.
Yeah. Well, hopefully there was some good food there for you. But yeah, no, I think generally, probably I think my family and friends will be the thing that I miss the most.
Okay, thank you very much for coming today. Ребята, спасибо вам большое за внимание. Если у вас есть какие-то вопросы, а может быть вы хотите спросить у Кристианы напрямую, я могу оставить ее ссылку под нашим видео. Всем большое спасибо за внимание. Пока-пока. Бай-бай.